Hello, my name's Sabrina Moreland, and I'm one of the librarians here at Walter State. And I'm going to show you very quickly how to use our Opposing Viewpoints database. This database is really great for covering controversial issues or anything that's been happening in our world today. So we're going to start on the library homepage. That's library.ws.edu. And then we're going to go down here to the quick link section and click on the A to Z database list. And so when I do that, we're provided with all the databases we subscribe to. There's a couple options for getting to opposing viewpoints. We can either go to the All Subjects drop-down box and choose a relevant subject area, or since we already know the name of our database, we can click on the O's and then click on Opposing Viewpoints. And so when Opposing Viewpoints loads, we're already given lots of information. So here are some issues that they've updated or added. There's also this really fabulous Browse Issues section. So that's where I always like to start, especially if I'm struggling with finding a topic. So let's click on to this icon that looks like a little light bulb for Browse Issues. And when that happens, we're given an extensive list of all these topics. So like I said, this is a great place to go to get ideas for doing a speech or a paper or whatever it is we're researching. There's also the idea that if we have a topic in mind, we can find one of these links that relates to what we're trying to research. So if I'm looking for information about food poisoning or foodborne illnesses, and there's not a link for that, then I could click on something like food safety that will provide me with related information that's relevant. So I'm going to click on to food safety. And each one of these links provides us with an overview of our topic, which is here. And we can expand that by clicking on this Read More box. And so when I do that, I'm given all kinds of additional information about my issue or topic. And so this could be used to obtain more search terms. It might help me broaden or narrow my topic. There's also related subjects provided to us by the database. So over here on the right, a term like public health might be really good for searching in our basic search box or advanced search box in this database, or even could be applied to other databases we might use. So keep these in mind. When I go back and I go below our overview section, I also see various types of sources, so magazines, images, newspaper articles, but it's generally the academic journals that we're looking for. That's not always the case, but when our instructors assign us to use scholarly articles or peer-reviewed articles or academic journal articles, those all mean the same things. So automatically, by just clicking on my overview, my food safety link, I can see that there are 300 and some academic journal articles, and when I click into this link, I have access to just that type of source. Another way to find information is by using this basic search box. So up here on the top left, I can try typing in some terms that I'm considering for research. So I could try foodborne illnesses and maybe inspections. And you'll see that after typing in my terminology, the database also gives us a list of recommended terms. I generally don't use what is listed in this drop-down box. I find that it limits my results sometimes. So I'm just going to stick with what I typed in there, and I'm going to hit search. And now I have, if I scroll down just a little, about 80, 79 or so, close to 80 articles. So I'm going to click into this just to narrow this down a little bit. And then there are also some ideas for narrowing stuff down on the right of your page. So these filters are great ways of limiting our results. So if I'm concerned with currency, so how up to date my topic is, I can click on date published, and I could put in a date range in these two boxes. So I generally go back about 10 years. It just depends on what I'm researching. So I could add 11/06/2009 to my first box, and then today's date, 2019. So I have those in there, and then I have to hit apply to actually make it filter out everything that's too old for my search. So now I have 58 results. I can also use this search within feature to get great information as well. So if I click on this, it pulls up this additional search box. And this just means that I'm searching just these 58 articles for whatever it is I'm looking for. So I might try to be more specific in what type of foodborne disease I'm researching. So I could enter E. coli, for example, and then I'm just given like 5 articles, which may be too few, right? That's the tricky thing about research, is knowing how far to go as far as limiting your searches. So if this doesn't work for you, there's also our advanced search option. So here, if I click on this link, it brings up these boxes, and it lets me use my Boolean operators also in these little drop downs to search as well. So and, or, and not is going to be used to tie our terms together and sort of limit what we're trying to research. So for example, I could put foodborne illness or food poisoning in my first box using or, and then and will stay the same, and I might be thinking about how does this topic or issue apply to restaurants. So I can enter restaurants in my second box. You have the option, of course, of adding a third term or even adding additional rows to your searches. So lots of ways of building your search. So I have my terms in. I'm going to hit search. And this time I have 45 academic articles. So I can go into just this section. And if I feel the need to, I can still limit by currency, or I could search within if I needed to limit this a bit more. But I'm going to take a look at some of these titles to see if any stand out to me as being relevant or directly related to what I'm researching. Some of these have to just do with certain areas, but this one seems kind of broad, so food safety and violations in restaurant inspection. So when you find an article you are interested in, you click into that article, and you're provided with the entire full text of that article. And everything I searched for is provided in like red text for you to see easily. Now, when you find an article that you think you might want to keep, you can scroll up to the top and use these different icons at the top for saving this piece of information. So one of the things you can do is email it to yourself by clicking on the Send To link. You can download this to your own device or to a jump drive or something. You can print it off. The library has free printing, in case you didn't know that. And there's also this permanent link. So if you click on Get Link, you would want to copy and paste this link, not the link at the top of your page, into your email or into a Word document, and it will take you back to this page. So that's 4 ways of saving this information. The last thing I want to share with you that's really helpful is our citation tool. So these little quotation marks, when I click on those, it brings up for me what I can copy and paste into my Works Cited page. So here's the MLA edition of that. If I'm using a different citation tool, I can enter APA, for example, and then copy and paste this into my reference page. All the information you need is there, so you don't have to worry about looking up the issue or the page number, any of that, but you do want to make sure it's written properly. Sometimes they'll put the author's names in all caps, or maybe the title of the article is not capitalized properly. So these are just small punctuation issues you would need to correct on your own, but other than that, everything should be right as far as the citation itself is concerned. So that's just a brief overview on how to use our Opposing Viewpoints database. If you have any questions or need help with any of your research, remember to ask a librarian. Thanks for listening.